Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. And in this video I'm going to show you all the structures that are in Minecraft 1.17. Now I already made a video like this for Minecraft 1.15, but since that was already 1.5 years ago, I thought that video could do for an update. And this is that video. So I'll be showing you all the structures that are currently available in 1.17 and also the structures that have been removed. So if you like Minecraft videos like this one, please leave a like on this video and subscribe to the channel for more Minecraft videos like this one. Most of the people who actually watch my videos aren't subscribed. I think around 99% of people aren't actually subscribed who watch these videos. And I would really appreciate it if you could subscribe, since that helps me out a whole lot. But now without any further ado, let's just get into the first structure, which is the Mineshaft. So the Mineshaft generates underground. It's pretty common and it's a sort of abandoned railway system. So in this maze made up of planks, fences and rails, you can also find minecarts with chests with some awesome loot in it. And furthermore, there are also some dangers here because you can also find cave spider spawners encased in a whole lot of cobwebs. And these can give you the poison status effect, so be careful around these areas. And then along with the planks and the fences, you can also find chains here holding up the big parts of the mineshaft and sometimes also logs supporting them from below. Then there is this mysterious dirt room which can also generate within the mineshafts. There's also a special variant of the mineshaft which generates in the Badlands biomes, which has dark oak planks instead of normal oak planks. And in the Badlands they can also generate higher than the normal mineshafts. The Stronghold is a very rare structure you can find by throwing and following Eyes of Ender. These strongholds consist of many different types of rooms like this library, water fountains, jail cells and more. So once you've found one of these strongholds, you have to go and explore them because you want to find the end portal room. Since within this room you will be able to find the end portal, which you'll need to enter the end dimension. So since the stronghold acts like a maze, it can take a very long time to find the end portal room. But once you've located it, you will just need to add a maximum of 12 Eyes of Ender to the portal to activate it, and this will be your gateway to the end dimension. Before the portal there's also a silverfish spawner which spawns mobs that can hide in blocks and will break out of those blocks when you attack one of the silverfish. The Amethyst Geode was added in Minecraft 1.17 and it has an outer layer of smooth basalt, a middle layer of calcite and then a layer of blocks of amethyst. Within these blocks of amethyst there are also budding amethysts mixed in, and on these budding amethysts, amethyst buds can grow all the way into an amethyst cluster. You can harvest these clusters only within the Amethyst Geode, since the budding amethysts will not drop if you try to mine them. Also, these blocks of amethysts make beautiful sounds. And after the geode, we move on to the fossil. So the fossil is one of the rarest structures in Minecraft. It's also very difficult to find because you can't use the locate command to locate it. It is a skeletal structure and it's made of bone blocks and coal ore. And there are lots of different variants. If you want to know more about fossils, I've made a video specifically on fossils as well. If you want to watch that, there will be a link in the top right hand side of your screen. So fossils can generate in the desert and the swamp between Y levels 40 and 49, but this will be changed in the 1.18 update. Then they can also generate below Y0, and when they generate below Y0 they will have diamond ore instead of coal ore within the structure, as you can see in this image right here. But for now 1.17 there will just be coal ore within your fossils. And so these fossils are different to the fossils you can find in the Nether because we'll get into those later on in this video. The buried treasure is a structure consisting of a single chest buried in sand. It always generates on the coordinates 9, 9 in a chunk. And you can find it by following a treasure map you can find within a shipwreck, a structure we'll get to later on in this video. So this buried treasure chest always contains one heart of the sea you can use to create a conduit. The ruin portal is a structure that can generate both in the overworld and in the nether. It can generate on the surface but also underground, and it can even generate on top of the lava lakes within the nether. As the name suggests, the ruin portal is an incomplete nether portal, and sometimes you can even complete it with the loot that you can find in a loot chest that most of the time spawns with one of these ruin portals. Furthermore, you can also often find netherrack and lava, along with some magma blocks and up to 3 gold blocks. Sometimes some of the obsidian blocks are replaced with crying obsidian blocks, and this means that the portal can't be completed unless you remove the crying obsidian blocks. The ruin portal can be normal sized, but it can also be way bigger, as we can see right here. And when the ruin portal generates in the nether, all the stone blocks are replaced by their blackstone variants. Icebergs generate in the frozen ocean biomes. They consist of packed ice and snow, and you can also find some blue ice under the water. These can vary a lot in size, and you can sometimes also find polar bears on top of these icebergs. Ocean ruins are structures that can generate in all the different types of oceans, and they consist of a collection of structures made up of stone bricks, magma blocks, prismarine and sea lanterns. Drowned will spawn in these structures, and there are also a couple of loot chests in there. These ocean ruins can also generate on top of beaches out of the water, and can also consist out of sandstone instead of stone bricks. The shipwreck is another underwater structure. It can generate in all the oceans, but also on top of land within beaches and shores. The ship can still be intact, but it can also be just half of a ship. It can be lying on its side, or right side up, or even upside down. It can consist of all different types of wood, and it can contain 3 chests. The first one at the front of the ship contains some wheat, leather armor and TNT. The second one in the center of the ship has some paper and always has a treasure map with which you can find the buried treasure we already showed earlier in the video. And then the third chest in the captain's hut has the best loot, since it contains a whole lot of iron and can also have gold, emeralds and even diamonds. The ocean monument can generate in any of the deep ocean biomes. It's home to the guardians and consists of prismarine blocks and sea lanterns. And at the top there is a elder guardian, which can give you the mining fatigue status effect, and below the elder guardian there can be a room filled with sponges, the only way to attain sponges in Minecraft. Then there is also a second elder guardian on the left of the ocean monument, and a third one on the right in a similar room. There he is. So all ocean monuments spawn with 3 elder guardians. Then there's one more room of interest in the ocean monument, which is a gold room, which has 8 blocks of gold. Now normally these are not exposed, I just removed 4 blocks to show you in this video that the gold is actually within the dark prismarine cube. And all the other rooms are randomly generated throughout the ocean monument. The desert pyramid is a structure that generates in any of the desert biomes. It's made up of the different kinds of sandstone and terracotta. There isn't much inside of the desert pyramid, but there is a secret room, because if you look at the pattern of terracotta on the bottom and you mine through one of these blocks, you will be able to fall down to the treasure of the desert pyramid. But be careful, because in the center there is a pressure plate, and this pressure plate is connected up to 9 pieces of TNT. So you will most likely be blown up if you land on top of that pressure plate, along with all the good loot in the 4 chests you can find in the desert pyramid. Igloos can generate in the snowy tundra and the snowy taiga biomes. They're made up of snow and ice and contain a bed, some carpet, a redstone torch, a crafting table and a furnace inside. Some of these igloos can have a secret basement. Below the carpet there you'll find a very long ladder, and at the very bottom within the basement you will find a villager and a zombie villager trapped behind iron bars, a golden apple in the chest, and a potion of weakness in the brewing stand. So this is the game trying to teach you how to cure a zombie villager and make it a normal villager again by splashing the zombie villager with the potion of weakness and then giving it the golden apple. Jungle temples are cobblestone and mossy cobblestone structures generated in any of the jungle biomes. They consist of 3 different floors, the top 2 not containing much apart from some windows. But the basement of these jungle temples is the most interesting, because here on the left there is a lever puzzle where you have to hit the levers in the correct order to open a secret entrance you can go into from the initial floor you were on when you entered the structure. And here you can find a loot chest. Then on the opposite side there is a corridor, and be careful here because there is a tripwire, and if you hit it, the dispenser at the end of the hallway will shoot you with some arrows, and something similar happens after the next turn. But here you can also find a second loot chest. The Pillager Outpost is a collection of structures consisting of a main watchtower and up to 4 smaller structures. These smaller structures can be a cage with an iron golem in it, some tents, or target scarecrows. And as the name already suggests, the Pillager Outpost is home to the Pillager. A lot of Pillagers will spawn in and around this Pillager Outpost. And if you defeat one of them that has a banner on top of its head, you will get the Bad Omen effect, which will cause you to trigger a raid if you enter a village. The main watchtower consists of 4 floors. And on the top floor, you'll be able to find 1 loot chest, which will have a crossbow in it. The Pillager Outpost can generate in the plains, the desert, the savanna, the taiga, and the snowy tundra. Swamp huts or witch huts can generate in the swamp biomes. They are made up of spruce wood, and within these swamp huts you will find 1 black cat and 1 witch. And you can use these swamp huts to make a witch farm, because witches will spawn naturally here afterwards as well. There's a cauldron, a crafting table, and a flower pot with a red mushroom in it. And it can generate both on land or with stilts on water. Villages are a structure consisting of many different houses, farms, paths, and central areas. They come in many different varieties depending on the biome they generate in. And within these villages you will of course be able to find villagers with which you can trade with emeralds. There will also be some cats that spawn around the villages. And to keep it protected from all the monsters out there, there will also be an iron golem that spawns within one of these villages. The villages also have a bell they can ring if they are in danger, and then all the villages will get back to their beds and workstations within their houses. One of the rarest and largest structures in Minecraft is the Woodland Mansion. A structure that can generate in the dark forest, made up of cobblestone and dark oak planks. It has 3 different floors and contains some very dangerous mobs. On the floor there is a red carpet, and there are some stairs leading to the next floors. There are lots of different types of rooms in these Woodland Mansions, and some of them are even hidden with no entrance to them. Some rooms contain loot chests, others contain wool structures and maps. You will be able to find vindicators here that will charge you with their axes, and on the top floor you will also be able to find evokers. And these evokers will be able to summon in vex mobs that can fly through walls. But if you manage to kill one of these evokers, it will drop a totem of undying, which is a very helpful item, and you can only get it from the evokers. And it will save you if you were just about to die by giving you some extra hearts. The dungeon is a small cobblestone room with up to 2 loot chests and a mob spawner that can spawn either zombies, skeletons, or spiders. Dungeons can be found underground, often intersecting caves or other structures. And the loot chests often have a music disc and horse armor in them. The desert well is a sandstone structure that can generate in the desert. It doesn't contain any loot chests, but there is an infinite water source at the center of the desert well where you can fill up your empty buckets with some water. In the giant tree taiga biome you can find these forest rocks. They are small boulders made up of mossy cobblestone and are often buried into the ground. So they only spawn in a giant tree taiga biome where there are these giant spruce trees. The Nether Fortress is a structure you can find in the nether made up of nether bricks. It has both an outside part and an inside part, and it can generate up to 2 blaze spawners. Apart from the spawners, blaze can also generate naturally in these nether fortresses along with wither skeletons, zombified piglin, and magma cubes. On the inside part of the fortress you can find loot chests on the corners of the large hallways. These loot chests contain semi-decent loot and can even contain diamonds. The wither skeletons that spawn in these nether fortresses can drop their heads, which can be used to create a wither. Furthermore, you can also find nether warts within these nether fortresses, which you can use to start brewing. Another structure you can find in the nether are the Bastion Remnants. These are large structures consisting of blackstone and basalt. They are home to the piglins and the piglin broods. There are 4 different types. There's bridges, housing units, hogland stables and treasure rooms. And they all contain a lot of different chests that can have different kinds of loot in them, including netherite ingots. And you can also find lots of gold blocks in these Bastion Remnants you can mine and then use to trade with the piglins. Of course, be careful because the piglins will get angry at you if they see you mining the gold blocks or opening any of the chests, even if you're wearing gold armor. The Nether Fossils are a variant of the fossils we already seen at the start of the video, but generating in the nether. These nether fossils only consist out of bone blocks and have some different shapes than the overworld fossils as well, including a very strange one, because here is the F-bone, one of the stranger nether fossils. End cities are structures located on the outer islands in the end dimension. They are made up of purple blocks and endstone bricks, and the main mob that spawns in these end cities is the shulker. And if one of the shulker's bullets hits you, you get the levitation status effect, which makes you levitate up into the air. There's some really good loot to be obtained in these end cities, including enchanted diamond armor. But there's also something way more important. So sometimes these end cities generate with an end city ship, which you can get to by bridging or throwing an ender pearl. And within this end city ship you can find even more good loot and an elytra, which enables you to fly through the skies with some firework rockets. And on the front of these end city ships there's also an ender dragon head. So there we go, those are the 24 structures currently in Minecraft 1.17. Now I will go over some structures that were removed. Most of these only existed for 1 or 2 updates and were removed immediately after. So there are probably a whole lot of these, but we're just gonna look at 4 of them in this video since I think these are the most interesting. Starting with the glass pillars. These were added in beta 1.9 pre-release 3 and were removed just 1 pre-release after in pre-release 4. These are glass pillars that reach all the way up to build height and they give the location of the stronghold. So this was done since the Eye of Ender was not leading the player to the stronghold just yet. So the glass pillars were just there to indicate where the stronghold was. So one of these glass pillars leads to the end portal room as we just saw, and the other glass pillar will lead to the entrance of the stronghold. And apparently these pillars weren't supposed to show up into the game because Jeb was supposed to remove them but forgot before releasing the public build of this version. And here's the second pillar leading to the main entrance of the stronghold. The Obsidian Wall was added in Minecraft Indev 2010-02-27-1 and was removed half a month later. There are no currently public downloads of these versions, so we'll just have to do with this one image. The Obsidian Walls were added as a debugging structure and they would generate at the x0 axis and the z0 axis. So these 2 walls would intersect at 0, 0. The brick pyramid was a structure introduced in Minecraft Indev 2010-02-27-1. They were very large pyramids made completely out of the brick block and it would always spawn at the same point in the world. And these brick pyramids were added to test out structure generation for Minecraft. The Indev House was added in Minecraft 0.31 2010-01-24 and it was a starting place for your Minecraft world where you would spawn in. It was initially completely made up of mossy cobblestone blocks, and on the inside it would contain several chests, one with TNT, one with every type of block, one with every type of item, and one with every color of wool. And later on they changed the mossy cobblestone to oak planks and stone. Next up I'll mention a couple of structures that I didn't think needed their own special segment. So in the end of course we have the end exit portal with which you can leave the end and will open up once you kill the ender dragon. It is also where the dragon egg will generate after you've slain the ender dragon. It is made up of bedrock, end portal and torches. Then there are the obsidian pillars with sometimes an iron bar cage on top and an end crystal at the top as well, which can heal the dragon if it's still there. And these obsidian pillars generate all the way down to Y0. Another small structure that generates once you defeat the ender dragon is the end gateway. It is a small bedrock structure with an end gateway block in the center, which if you throw an ender pearl into it will bring you to the outer end islands. And then there is of course the Obsidian Platform that generates when you enter the end, just 25 blocks of obsidian. In the Nether you can find these Basalt Pillars that sometimes generate around. They are just very large pillars completely made up of basalt. Back in the overworld there are of course the icebergs that generate in the icebergs biomes made of packed ice. Then there are the coral reefs that generate in the warm oceans with the coral blocks, the coral fans and the corals, where the blue one is the tube coral, the pink one is the brain coral, the purple one is the bubble coral, the red one is the fire coral and the yellow is the horn coral. And there we go, those were all the structures available in Minecraft 1.17 and all the structures that have since been removed from the game. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more Minecraft videos like this one. I want to thank my tier member, the Smikkelaar. Thank you so much for becoming a tier 3 member. If you also want to become a member, click the blue join button below the video to check out the different tiers. But there we go, that was Minecraft 1.17 all structures. I hope to see you all in another video, so until then, bye bye!